Welcome back to Golden VinylSpin. Super excited to do this this video. It wasn't originally supposed to be what I'm doing today. What I was originally going to do was I was going to show you how to take the scuffs out of your turntable covers, and but after I got looking at these two turntables that I recently acquired over the past 6 months, I was like, let's do a video on comparison, because I see a lot of each other, like brother and sister, with these two tables. So what do we have here? We have a Pro-Ject debut, which is the number 3, and we have the Music Hall mmf-2.2. So when I was looking at these, I love these two tables. First of all, I love both Music Hall and Pro-Ject because they have interchangeable components. Everything is right there. You can basically figure out how to build your own turntable. I said, build your own turntable? Yes. When I started building my turntables, I used Pro-Ject as one of my models of learning how to build one, because essentially all you have is a motor that you have to isolate, has a belt on it that spins a platter. That is what the platter gets going with, and this and that, and having the belt is not an automatic. So you're engaged in playing your music with these particular tables. They're manual tables. There's no auto return or auto start or anything. You got a button, you turn it on, you have a tonearm lifter, lift it up, bring it to the spot, and let it go down. And pay attention to when the album is done, because you're going to have to pick that tonearm up and put it back into its housing. So I really loved Pro-Ject, and I have used their arms on many other tables that I've built. I've used their bearings, I used their sub platters, I've used their acrylic platters. I basically used everything that they ever had on their table, but the only difference with me is I don't have a cover, or I change out the plinth, and my motor is completely different than what their motor is. So yes, I was originally going to show, you see all these scuffs in this Music Hall table, and I'm going to clean it up because I don't want to keep these, even though they're really nice tables, but I have my own, and so I want to sell them, but I can't sell them in this condition. So I was originally going to do a video and showing you how to get the scratches and scuffs. Not major scratches, but minor scuffs. That will be in our next video. So I'll change of plan. Today we're going to go over comparing the Music Hall and the Pro-Ject. Let's have a look. So first of all, the covers are interchangeable. You can reverse these covers and they work exactly the same as the original. Now the only difference between these two covers is the shape. So right here you can see that this has a slope here. There's a little slope along here as well, and it does feel a little bit higher than the other one, but at the end of the day, if you're in a tight situation that you're trying to find a cover for either one of these, go to both of them and have a look, because look, we just changed them out and they work perfectly fine. So that is the first thing that I noticed. So I started to look a little bit further. What else could be interchangeable? What else is the same? Well, first of all, their tone arms are in fact Pro-Ject on both of them. They're both Pro-Jects on both of them. The original one that was on the debut was upgraded to the Pro-Ject carbon fiber. The other one was, I believe, pretty close to the same as this one, but at the end of the day, they're both Pro-Ject tone arms. Now we look at the platter. This one here had the basic steel platter, which is great. They're heavy. And then the other one had a steel platter as well, which looked identical to that one, but the previous owner upgraded to the acrylic platter. Now, will the acrylic platter work for the other one? Let's have a look. Voila. They're interchangeable. They're interchangeable. So, we got the tone arms the same. The platters are pretty well the same. What about the sub platter? Underneath, we have sub platters. Look at that. That suction just stayed right on there. Ugh. And you see how that's still spinning over there? That's pretty darn good that that's still spinning. That's, what is that? Centrifugal force? I don't know. It's making it continue. I don't know. But anyhow, this sub platter is what's underneath. They both look the same. In fact, all the fins are the same. So you got the same features. You got these little nubs down in here. They're the same. Everything's the same there. So that's another thing that's the same. Now we look at the motors. The motors look pretty near the same as well. Unless I take them apart, I don't know if the manufacturer of the motor are identical and if they are actually the same motor. I know by looking at the Pro-Ject underneath, I could see that Pro-Ject actually has their brand name on their actual motor. If I says Music Hall, they don't have the brand name on the motor. From when I looked in, it has a type of motor and it has a serial number. Most likely they're the same as well, but I can't guarantee. I don't know that for certain. Everything about the motor just screams identical to me. Really it does. Now when we pull these sub-platters off and we look at the bearing housing, they both look identical as well. So I'm going to assume they are the same. Now as far as the plinth actually looks the same as well to me. The thickness, when they're sitting side by side, they're the same. The weight, they feel pretty much the same, which I never measured because we're just doing a visual inspection of comparison here. But what I did notice is with the Pro-Ject, they decided to put their power button on the bottom right here. So therefore, their groove, where the wire goes, is on the bottom. These guys, on the other hand, Music Hall, decided to do the opposite. They have the button on top, and the groove where the wire is, right underneath of the platter on top of the plinth. Not a problem. Whatever. Just something different. They want the button on the top. And I like the button on the top as well. Let's move on to the connecting your RCA cables. Now, Music Hall, they have theirs connected already. It's already in there. It's fully, you can see it in there, it's stuck in there. You might be able to upgrade it to a pen connector, but I never looked into it, so I'm not 100% sure, but I don't see why you couldn't if you fiddled around a little bit. Now the Pro-Ject, on the other hand, I like this feature. It's not connected all the time. You could change out your cables for better cables if you want, or cables got screwed up, your dog chewed on this one and it's permanently connected to the table, you're kind of screwed. But this one, you can pull it out and put in a new one. Now the wires going up to the tone arm are basically really small wires, so you can't really upgrade those, and I don't think you can. I know you can change them out, but as far as the quality of the sound, will it change with the different tone arm cables? I highly doubt it. but here you can change out. And it has the ground on the outside as well. With this, with the music hall, they have a ground connected to the cable, and the other end of the ground is connected somewhere inside of the turntable. So one of the things I want to do now is check on the wow and the speed of both turntables. We're going to use, just for the sake of argument, we're going to use the same platter and the same belt for both tables. I have a linear power supply right over there, and both tables are set up for 15 volts, and that's set up for 15 volts, but that linear power for some reason will not power the music hall. It will only power the Pro-Ject. So there must be something else that's preventing it from doing it. So, but anyhow, we're going to go ahead and test this out. And all you do is you push start, and then it asks you to start your turntable. And it's going to do its calculations and then give you a wow number as well. So now she hit blue. Now it's getting ready to do that. And we'll just wait and see what's that going to give us. And then we'll switch over to the other table. So I don't know if this will focus on. Hopefully it will. There we go. So that's what we're sitting at for the music hall. Now let's switch these over. Some people don't like touching the belts with their hands. Whatever. There are tools that you can use. Alright, so now we're just going to reset this and start it up. And the button under this one is underneath. Wow, the Pro-Ject is... I don't know. What is it going to be, folks? What is it going to be? All right, here we go. So, according to this, the Pro-Ject actually performed a little bit better, I believe. But overall, they're both pretty near the same. We're almost done. We're almost done comparing the two tables. So we covered everything on the top. Now, the cartridge that comes with the music hall is one of their own. It's called music hall tracking. According to what it says on the front of it. Music hall tracker. Music hall tracker. Now, I have not seen many reviews on their cartridges, and I tried it out. It sounds okay to me, but and you know what? Look what just happened. This one's on this side. This one's on this side. Assuming that's where they go. But like I said, it doesn't matter anyhow. So I can. Doesn't matter if I get those two mixed up. All right. Now we're going to move to the underbody. There's an important thing on the feet. Okay, let's have a look at the feet. Now, Pro-Ject has 4 feet. Music hall went with 3 feet. Now, I like 3 feet. It's less points of contact, less chances that you're going to pick up a knock on the table and it gets transferred up to through the feet to your table. And in fact, 3 feet is actually more sturdy and secure, believe it or not, than 4 feet. That's why you have tripods and all this other stuff, you know. I actually looked into that one time, and I could be full of shit, but I believe 3 feet is better than 4 feet. So that has a little bonus in my mind with the music hall with the 3 feet. So here we have the original tonearm that came on the Pro-Ject Debut 3 which was removed and upgraded to the carbon fiber by the previous owner. Now, this is very, very similar to the Tonearm that is on the music hall. But it does have some differences that are really cool, and I actually like the looks of them. And it has a little bit more metal on the music hall one, and I'll show you that now. So as you can see underneath here, it's basically just a metal rod with a little thing that holds your Tonearm. That's your Tonearm housing place to house it so it's secure. It looks pretty classy. This one, on the other hand, that they created for their own table is plastic. And it doesn't really look that great. The components, everything, like, I just don't like that. And I think that's why a lot of people upgrade, because I don't really see the benefits outweighing any negatives, if it does have any, of upgrading from the original Pro-Ject Tonearm to the carbon fiber one. Yes, the carbon fiber does not, it's a little bit better on the resonance as far as it doesn't, they claim that it will not transfer as well. And it looks nice. It's cool. I really like it. But even on their carbon fiber, they kept this plastic piece housing. So you can see there's not a hell of a lot different other than the actual Tonearm itself, but the housing that the Tonearm sits on is, in my opinion, the same. Now the counterweight obviously is going to work for either one. So for whatever reason, and you lost the counterweight off of the music hall, you can take the one off of this one, the Pro-Ject, and put it over to there, because they are Pro-Ject arms. Now when you upgrade your arm, your Pro-Ject to the carbon fiber, and then you're going to have to check on the weight and how much that Tonearm can handle. Because I upgraded from the original one and I put a different cartridge on it. And the cartridge is too heavy for it. The Tonearm cannot handle it. However, there are upgradable counterweights that have a little extra weight on it, and that will counterbalance it, and it will sort itself out. I've gotten a couple of those over the years and kind of misplaced them, but they'll show up someday. So overall, I love both of these tables, and it's so funny when I look at them because Pro-Ject is more marketed than music hall. I don't see a whole lot of marketing, and this is just my personal opinion. I don't see a whole lot of big marketing with music hall turntables, but I do see a lot with Pro-Ject. Which came first versus the other, I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're just doing a comparison of the components, and visually, price point, both of these tables are pretty near the same. And overall, my opinion, you already know that I love Pro-Ject. I did try out the music hall. There was absolutely no freaking difference. I didn't really notice it. The only difference is it depends on your equipment and what cartridge you got on it and stuff like that. But as far as the movement mechanisms and keeping the balance of the Tonearm and the speed of the motor, everything's pretty much screamed, hey, we're twins. So if you're on the rope of trying to figure out, do you want a music hall turntable or a Pro-Ject turntable? I say if you can get your hands on either one of them at a reasonable price, you're going to be very happy. It's not going to... It's like buying a GMC or a Chevy. To me, that's what it's like. I have a Chevy truck, and I swear to God, I'll never buy a GMC truck. And a lot of people laugh at me, but it's just because I don't like the logo. So can you do that scenario with these two tables? Yeah, I guess you could, really. You can say, hey, do I want a music hall or which one is better? I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you. Both great tables. And I'll always own a Pro-Ject. I'll always have one on hand because they're readily available. I'll always have one on hand for when I'm building my own turntables. I take parts off of it. That's just the way I am. So, but anyhow, there you go, folks. I hope this helps you in deciding whether you're going to get a music hall or a Pro-Ject, because to me, they're twins. They're basically the same, and you'll be happy with either one of them. That's it. In our next video, I will be cleaning these up. Obviously, you could see that this table is filthy. I mean, come on. It's horrible. It's horrible. Why would someone allow their tables to get like this? And this is piano black, and the same thing as the Pro-Ject is piano black. And this is in amazing shape. This one's in better shape than the other one, the other table. But I'm going to do them both. I'm going to clean them up. And in that video, I'll show you how I clean up and remove scuffs and try to bring these things back to beautiful tables that they are. They're beautiful. They're elegant looking. I love them. I love the shiny black. I love the covers when they're clear and you can see through them. Stop putting your damn albums on, laying on top of your covers. I mean, years ago, I really had a pet peeve with that, and I was catching myself. I actually know how to sew, so I made myself a felt cover to put over top of it. I have no idea where the hell it went. But that's what we're going to do in our next video. So thank you for watching Golden Final Spin. Until next time, remember, keep spinning, and we're going to clean up your table next week.